Welcome back. After my last painting venture, I decided that I had to make a choice. Either it was put on a breathing mask and hardly be able to breathe because of my allergies, which closed off my sinuses really bad, or leave the mask off and run the risk of breathing a lot of paint fume. So I'm going to try it without the mask. We'll see how it goes. If halfway through you hear a crunch and a tumble, don't worry, that was just me passing out. No big deal. Anyway, so here we go. And I'm going to do a landscape. I've got this vision in my head. Now I'm going to see if I can bring the vision from my head and put it on the canvas. And I'm using one of my 8.5 by 11 canvases today instead of just poster board. Kind of wanted a little more stable surface. All right, so here we go. Start out with a little blue sky, so I'm going to put a blue sky down. And one of the things I have learned while I've been painting is while you're doing things, you can overlap colors, no big deal, and still make it do what you want it to do. So I'm going to put the blue down, and then I'm going to build the rest of it around that. So I want, what do I want? A little more practice and experience with this, I think, to start with. I want my sky to actually stop, and what I'm doing, so I want about right here, I think. The rest of that, I don't want anything messing with it. So I think I did it backwards. See, I'm still learning. You're still learning. We're still learning. Some of you may still be learning. I don't know. I probably wanted my rocks down before I got my blue sky in there. But that's okay, because you can fix anything. So what I'm going to do, put my rocks down. And as I have learned over the last couple of months, do both colors at the same time. That way they actually mix really good instead of you get one spot where it's really overwhelming. Just make sure that you don't flood the canvas. All right, so get down there. My orange cap is starting to plug up, so I guess we'll be done with the orange for now. And then on top of all that, I'm going to add in some red. I don't want to cover everything. I just want to kind of have more of the red show through than the other colors, just because. And then I want, put that back on. I'm going to add in a little bit of brown. And this one's called Brownie Points. It was on sale. Not bad though. All right, so there's going to be my background for my rocks that I'm going to build in there. I'm trying to build archway, a circular archway with some colors behind it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to let that dry just a little bit because I don't want it turning into mud. It's already a little soupy, so I want to give it a little time to dry. So while that's happening, I will redo my sky. Mr. Blue Sky, Mr. Blue Sky. Okay, sorry, enough of that. You didn't come here to listen to me sing. Probably a good thing. I want a little bit brighter sky, so I am going to add in a little bit brighter color. We'll get a little bit lighter blue in there. That actually almost looks like cloud color. But it's called aqua. Agua. Eh. Get in there. So what happens when your crates are sitting at an angle? Everything tilts when you pull something out. All right, now I want to add some clouds in there. So I'm going to just take a piece of cardboard, and this is just a piece of cardboard that I had laying around, scrap. So I'm going to rip out a chunk of it. And I guess since this side's already kind of ripped up, I'm going to make a stencil. And just goes to show that you can use just about anything to make different designs and such. And get out of there. All right, there's a cloud stencil. That quick. Make sure you have, well, you probably don't really want a lot of sharp edges in it, because if you look at clouds, they're more rounded and they don't have sharp edges on them usually. So I'm gonna take that. And just pick spots, and you want to layer your clouds up. Flip it around, flip it over. That way you don't get the exact same pattern appearing everywhere. Oh no. There. Now we got some clouds in the sky. Not a care in the world. Sorry, I'm just in a singing type mood. So I guess you'll have to deal with it. I mean, it could be the granddaughter out here making her little smart alecky comments. Although some of you seem to like that. We may have to have a talk. Okay, now we let that dry. We let the bottom dry pretty good. Yeah. Dry, dry, dry. Da, 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 da. Then I'm going to take a little green and yellow. I'm going to put it down here. Because that's going to be what's shining through on the other side. And add in a little more yellow, or green, I'm sorry. A little key lime green. Light green. All right. We want a nice little blend of colors there to build our archway around. Now comes fun. I want to cover all this in black, and then I want to peel it away to give me my Rocky formation looking thing. And we'll see how that goes. Most of this down there should be nice and dry. And when you're wearing 10-cent gloves that hang off everywhere, make sure you pull that glove down so that you get a nice smooth edge on your finger. Because if not, you get this thing hanging over and then it gets into your paint and just spreads it everywhere and makes it look bad. So, all right. Now be careful we don't spray over that too much. We want that shining through. We want to come over this though. All right. There's that. Now I need my paper. Paper. So, get my straight edge out of the way. Take the paper, lay it down, pull it away, lay it down, pull it away. Oh, right over the green, awesome. Smooth, Jim, smooth. Lay it down, pull it away, lay it down. Lay it down. Pull it away. Get paint all over your gloves. That's always a good thing. If I had some non-copyrighted music to play in the background, I'd just do this and not talk. Just shut up. However, since I don't have any of that right this second, I'll just do it the other way. Now I actually want. My gloves have got paint all over them, so everything's sticking. So now I want to build the archway up top. I'm going to do that with some plastic. Alright, I'll use that to actually make a little more texture over here on this stuff, because that actually looks pretty good. Alright, there we go. Oh yeah, that's pulling it up better. That paint, or that paper I used just did not want to pull this up. Alright. So. She's sticking, Captain. We can't take much more of this. There we go. Okay, that's a little better. I pulled a good chunk of that paint off of there with the plastic instead of the paper. And now the paper doesn't want to let go. Okay, so there's that. Now, I want some clear coat. So, clear coat's the special sauce. Get gloss if you can. This is on sale. The wife grabbed it, so I'm trying to use it up. It's the matte, so it doesn't have as much of a shine to it as the others, but it still works for what I need it. I want to soften that paint up so I can do some cutting into it. So we're going to clear coat. And we get some of that down. Take our handy dandy knife, and as I've said before, this is the one I prefer, with the little edge here, and then the bigger edge here, and then you got a nice point here, and it's versatile. I love using this one instead of any of the other ones because I can do just about anything with the other ones except for make little longer scrapes, and I do have a couple of knives I can do that with, but this one, for what I've been doing usually, is really good. And speaking of which, now I just want to take just a couple of spots, and I want to define the rock layers. So we're going to take a little bit of an edge. We're going to put maybe a little bit of a rock here, a rock there, just to like show maybe a couple spots where there's a bit of a pebble sticking out or something. And I also want to give it a little bit of a, see, that looks right there more like a rock that was sticking out to me. So I'm going to give it a little defining edge. Same way here. To show, okay, that is a rock that's actually in the foreground. And this one too looks pretty good like one. So we'll get that one. And you don't, the lighter you push, the less you bring up, and the lighter the line will be. The more you push, the sharper it is, and the more white or canvas behind it you'll bring up. So just depends on what you think looks good. If you want to push kind of hard and bring out a nice little rock design in there, push harder. If you think it needs to be very light and just barely perceptible, then barely perceptible it is. All right. So I think this one right there looks like that might be a rock. Okay, I'm thinking that looks pretty good right there. Right there's one there. And I think right here around the edge of this, we want to put in a little bit of a design there to show the back there. And then finally, I want to put in some trees. So I'm going to actually put in a couple of trees, and how we're going to do that is I'm going to start holding it this way with this side down onto the canvas, and as I pull it, I'm going to turn that so I can bring out a bigger trunk as it gets down toward the ground. So you start out with just a little line, and then as you're going down, turn it to bring out more of the trunk. See? And then we're going to put in a couple of branches, and I will make it look like a tree later. At least that's the general idea, so bear with me. This is going to be a longer video too, and I'm sorry about that, but for these kind of paintings, sometimes it is a little bit longer. Alright, now this one's down toward the ground, so I'm actually going to really cut that out because that's going to be a separate tree coming out of there. And this needs a little more definition, so there we go. Alright, and then I want, make sure we put down some roots down here. Okay. Time for a little more special sauce because the paint's starting to dry out. We need it soft if we want to do this. So, here, give it a little paint, and then give her some roots down here, and then we're going to draw another tree over here. Spread that out just a little bit more. There we go. Okay. And then some branches. And some branches. All right, and a conversation. What's up, dear?
I'll be right back, Ocean. I'm going to get this jug filled with water.
Wait until you're done.
Might take a few. Yeah, close enough. The tree part's done. Now I gotta mix colors and make leaves. So, yes, love. So, okay. All right, that's almost 20 minutes. So I'm gonna cut this off here, and we'll do a part 2 where I finish off my trees and add my other colors in there that I want. And we will talk to you later.